Founded in 1843 by her great-great-great-grandfather, the 2nd Earl of Burlington, Lucy Cavendish is the latest member of the family to become chairman of the Burlington Stone business. We spoke to Lucy about her role and what it means to carry on the family tradition.
I'm Lucy Cavendish and I'm the current chairman of Burlington Stone, and we're filming here at Hooker, which is a family home in Cumbria. My father asked me to take over the family, or come on board the family business, with eventually a view to taking over about 5 or 6 years ago. So it's a diverse portfolio of businesses, but one of our main businesses is Burlington Stone, and I became chairman of Burlington about 2 years ago.
What's it been like those 2 years?
Very, very exciting. Very exciting, and unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It's a fantastic business. Well, there are 150 people who work there, and quite a few of those are third generation stonemen who have been in the quarry since they were lads, and their fathers before them, their fathers before that, and they have skills which are irreplaceable, and it's humbling to see the men working at the riving sheds in the quarry itself, and they have an understanding of stone which you can't just learn in a day or a year, or I mean even over generations. Burlington came into my family with the 2nd Earl of Burlington, who was later the 7th Duke of Devonshire, in 1843, and that began with our main quarry, Kirby. And then my father in the 70s and 80s, my father spent a year working in the quarry when he left school, and he set about acquiring quarries in the Lake District National Park, and which brings us to the business that we have today, including limestone. So we quarry blue black, Kirby blue black, and green, Westmoreland green, and we have limestone.
How proud does it make you to take the mantle from your father and all the great work that's been done?
Incredibly proud. I mean, as I say, the people who work there are, it's humbling to watch them working, and with the knowledge they have and the expertise and the skills. The responsibility of sustaining it is something I'm very aware of. I mean, the stone's been made over 400 million years, so it's not being replaced anytime soon. So I think sustainability is what we are concentrating a lot on at the moment. And there is a fine balance between maintaining tradition and modernising the company. So the slates are still hand-riven, and by that I mean each slate has been handled by a river, and that's learnt over years and years of experience. Funnily enough, before I became involved, slate wasn't something that I really looked at very closely, but the more I get to know it, the more fascinating it is. And I think I found that with people who have got involved in the quarry, sort of certainly under my stewardship, they become more and more fascinated by the stone itself. And as I said, it's millions of years old, so it has a history of its own. And it's terribly exciting to be making something British that came from Britain that is essentially ours.
How does that make you feel to know that your great-great-great-grandfather started this business and it's still in the family name? Because there's a lot of businesses that have been sold on and moved to other countries. How proud does that make you?
Immensely proud. Immensely proud, and very anxious to keep this safe for generations to come.
No pressure then.
With its pioneering global sales force, Burlington Stone has been selected as the professional's choice in some of the most outstanding pieces of modern architecture across the world. We take a look at some of the standout projects. This is Around the World in 80 seconds. Burlington Stone is very much a people business, with second, third and even fourth generations of workers carrying on the traditional stone and slate making processes. It's very much a family affair. We spoke to one quarryman, Donald Kelly, who began as a 15-year-old apprentice before heading up the whole Elterwater quarry operation. This is a quarryman's tale.
My father was a quarryman, yeah. He started in about 1928 or 9, somewhere about there. Honest old man. He was working here when I started. He got me the job. And in those days, wasn't such a thing as redundancy or anything like that. You moved around wherever the money was the best. And usually, if some quarry had a good quarry, a good metal, then that's where you tried to get to. If you didn't like it, where you were working, the boss would often say, well, there's no gate on the bank, you can go if you like, you know, which we often did. So I worked in most of the quarries. There's only 2 I haven't worked at. That's Kirkston and Buttermere at Honister. I've worked in the rest of them. That's me, obviously. Jim Dixon, my dad, Charlie Kelly, Brynma Jones, Tommy Burkett, Fred Mallet and Bill Gaskell. Daily instructions to lorry drivers. And you can see even then, the slate was going, there's a date on it, 3rd of the 8th, 1939. So it was just before the war.
And that's going to Cape Town?
Cape Town, yeah. Roofing slates. And that's my dad before the war.
Before the war?
Aye, before the war. Up at Spine Cop. That's on the front of the old man. The slate was carted away with the horse and cart, and they had an aerial ropeway, an aerial flight, which took some of it partly down the mountain, and then it was loaded onto a horse and cart, a ton. And on the cart there was a sledge. And on its first journey down from the quarry, there was half a ton in the cart, half a ton on the sledge. The sledge to hold it back as it went down the steep hill from the quarry. Then when they got to the bottom, they took the half ton off the sledge, onto the cart, threw the sledge onto the top of it and proceeded towards Coniston. And then there's another steep hill which goes down to the railway station. Take the sled off the cart again, put the half ton back on the sled and drag it down to the station, and then it was transported via the railway.
Still got it?
Still got it.
Still got it.
Same as Ian, Donald's son, you see, same as myself. I used to go up to the quarry as a little lad and was brought up, you know, and you see your dad doing these things and you want to do it, don't you?
And your granddad.
And your granddad, yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
sort of like there, it's just part,
Yeah.
you know, you just want to be like your parents, don't you, when you're a kid, and sometimes you see sense and do something else, and sometimes you follow on.
Worked with a lot of interested people in my time, you know, people who were in the First World War and Second World War, and a mixture of people from all over England, really. Welsh people that came here and Cornish people.
I've heard it said many times before that it is very much a people business, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. Good working spirit amongst quarrymen.
Here at Burlington Stone TV, we aim to get you closer to the essence of this remarkable product. We'll take you behind the scenes as we extract, produce and finish our range of 11 sumptuous stones. Tune in to Burlington Stone TV for all our latest features and stories.